So listen, New Mexico, as of May 2nd, we have a 44.3 response rate to the U.S. Census. The national average is 56.3 at this point. I know we are competitive people, so let that urge you, light a fire under you to make sure that we don't go under accounted for. All right? And I'm happy to be here with the tiny census desk, tiny desk census. I'm confused, but because every day feels the same in quarantine. But I'm here to bring you a poem that I kind of teased last week, and I hope you like it. So here we go. Title 13 for the Bernalillo County Census. When my 12-year-old son asked me, Dad, what's a census? Well, I told him, it's like a nationwide pop quiz where everybody can pass. And as I watched his melinated frontal lobe crunch the numbers, I am reminded that the census has always been about race. A race for districts and dollars that we've never won. And then he snaps me out of it. But it's like every 10 years, right? Yeah. So I wouldn't exactly call it a pop quiz. He's a smartass, and he's right. Just like my playful jab to his cheek, we all saw it coming. And then I'm like, they ask you how many people are in your household, right? Yeah. Well, you keep popping off at the lip, and we're going to be -1. And then we laugh. Like the census ain't no joke. Like the relining of an uneven playing field. And this is our once-a-decade opportunity to walk the chalk. So he asks, isn't it kind of like voting? And I'm like, sorta. I mean, it is a civic duty. But the way some people vote, I'm going to go ahead and say that this test is more of a pass-fail. Think of the census more like you voting for you, and all you got to do is turn it in to win. And now I'm off thinking again. It's literally like if every single person in your community punched a lottery ticket and how much better the odds would be ever in your favor. And if you've ever ran numbers, there's only 2 ways to do the math. Now or later. This is not a game. Our entire social safety net is attached to this. But I'm not out here saying it doesn't come with the same risk that any other profit proposition comes with. So then the government can find me? He asked, genuinely concerned. And I say, it's super easy for those in power to find young black men when it's convenient. It's so much harder to be visible when you are not the victor or the victim of a crime, son. But frankly, you give more information away to corporations on social media and when you register for them damn video games. So we are not exactly in hiding. And who do you think the corporations sell that data to? Now I'm thinking, at least we get something in return this time. He's thinking, I have no idea what my dad is talking about. And I'm like, look, Title 13 of the Census Code states that they cannot share their information about you with any other federal agencies. Right. Ripley's believe it or not. But what's the alternative? Taxation with flawed representation? And he says, well, I'm almost 13, which is the Scorpio's hard left hustle to remind me I owe him a birthday gift in 7 months, which reminds me why I census. A mixed son, this many censuses since 1790, back when there were only 4 answers to the race question. Number of free white males, 1. Number of free white females, 2. Number of other free persons, 3. Number of slaves, 4. And now I'm stuck on how he's always been other, 3 and free, and how we are now he and me. And now he is texting 12 going on 13 in the face of how many of us there are versus how many of us there aren't. And me, well, I'm still cramming for the test of how many hearts we are or aren't. How the only wrong answers to this test is not answering at all. Because otherwise, how would they know? How would they know how black, how white, how half, how both, how brown, how red, how yellow, how most, how loud, how him, how her, how both, how none, how hunger, how thirst, how last, how first, how rest, how best, how US, how worst. How else? How else would they know that we still exist? how we will or how we won't or how we want what's promised.